You will never guess what I did. And for some reason, I'm getting feedback in my ear. So, now I feel stupid. And I'm not sure where to go. So for the last 18 minutes, I was talking to myself the entire time because I had OBS on my screen and I'm looking at chat and I'm responding to you guys in chat. And for some strange reason, I didn't put myself on. Okay, I've explained this before. My stream feeds in, my OBS feeds into StreamYard, and StreamYard is how it gets to YouTube. So this entire time I was sitting here, I opened up StreamYard and I went live, and then I forgot to add myself to the stream. So the entire time I'm sitting here looking at OBS, and OBS is showing me, and I'm showing that my microphone is going like crazy. But apparently you guys couldn't see me because I was not on the stream. Rick thought we were looking for pink paint for your build. No, I wish I was. So now, Jesus, I'm going to try and do this as quick as possible. I have the whole thing already played in my head because I've already been talking to you guys for 20 minutes. Hang tight. All right. Hey, everybody. I'm 20 minutes late. I'm usually never late. I'm never late at all. Welcome to the Boebel Model Railroad. I am on live now. I can see myself on StreamYard, so we're going to do this and just keep it going. I'll try to be as fast as possible because I was talking like crazy to myself, apparently. Welcome to the channel. My name is Rick Bailey, and this is the Boebel Model Railroad channel. I am here. It's 8 o'clock. It's Sunday, the 22nd. And this is Sidetrack Sunday. So welcome over anybody who's new here. Definitely Sidetrack Sunday, 8 o'clock. We're just going to flip through it. I'm going to go over to the schedule. All right, the schedule here. This is March. You can see there's one guy left. The next week on the 29th. Now I can't talk because I'm trying to speed through it. The 29th of March is going to be Ray. So check his channel out down in the description. You'll be able to see him, subscribe to him, all that good jazz. Flip over to the participants tab here for a minute. Let's see who's here, because I already said hello to everybody, but y'all weren't here for me to say it to. So, top of the list, Almar is here. Welcome, sir. Artie from Oz America is here. Roy from the Container Man, haven't seen you in a while. Thank you for stopping in. I appreciate it. Dave DB Tech is in the house. Deep Run Mike is here. Derek Alexander, hello, sir. Dan from Dan's Model Railroad Journey is here. James from the Dungeons Junction is here. Of course, I'm here. Grandpa Rails is in the house. Happy Valley Hobbies is here. Hot Dog Pilot Andy is in the house. Dwight from the Curly Express is here. Lynn McCurdy is here. Lynn was the first one that was in the house this morning, or this afternoon, this evening, at some point, so he's got the cookie. Bob from PK&W Model Works is here. Of course, Ray Boebel is here. Ron Moen is in the house. J2, Schuykill Valley is here. Sparky is in the house. Welcome, brother. Yeah, I screwed this one up, man. The Mad Train Reefer is here. I also saw earlier Wigwag was here, and so was Willow Creek Brad. I'm trying to think if there's anybody else that I might have missed from either this time or the last time. I don't think so. Let me jump right over back to the main cam here. I'll tell you exactly what's going on. If you remember from last night's show, I'm not going to have time to do it now because I'm running through everything. I think I just covered it all, though. Hold on a second. I had even went through 30 minutes of chat and had stuff popping up on my screen, but of course you didn't even see it. So, if you saw my show on Friday night, we found the next kit that we're going to build. But at the same time, I also found an airbrush that I didn't even know that I had or didn't even know that I brought here. So In looking with that and with the magic of Amazon Prime, I was able to find some of the parts that were missing out of the box, and I got those in this afternoon. So I'm going to show you those, show you the brush again. I do have my booth all set up next to me. When I flip to the next screen, you're actually going to see it in the background. Ignore that completely while it's there, and we'll just keep talking. I am not paying attention to chat. Sorry, I was talking to you guys the entire time, even laughing at the fact that you guys were making fun of my black screen, which to me was only up there for a minute. I went live at 8:01. StreamYard had a different theory, though. So I'm going to flip right back over to the side cam here because I've already taken up way too much time. There's the air booth. Someone I read in chat a little while ago, Joe Rader, I think it was, sent me a message that I wasn't online or that he was seeing a black screen, and I couldn't figure out why that was even up there. And then I went looking for my phone, and I'm like, hang on a second, it's not in my pockets, it's not on my desk. Where is it? Well, it's right over there sitting on that arm, because that's how I'm going to show you the airbrush station when I get it up there. So thank you, Joe Rader. I didn't hear you because the phone is in use with the camera, and that's why I didn't see your message. I should keep chat up because I'm sure you guys would have seen something. But Bob was correct. We had a little snafu with custody tonight, and I've got my kids. They're in the back over there. They're not screaming and crying. I've got them all tied up, and I gave them their tablets and tasty cakes. So they should be happy for a little bit. And yeah, we'll keep it going. I forgot to mention, because another thing that came up that I saw in chat, over there in chat, you see those guys with the blue names and the little blue shields? They're my moderators. So they're the guys who try and keep me on track, which somehow we all failed tonight. But they're also here to keep you guys in line. So if you do anything in chat or say anything in chat, don't blame me. They're the guys that are going to kick you out. So I owe you guys 18 minutes, apparently. So I am going to try and do my best. We can certainly go over time as long as, the kids allow me to. Geez, I feel crappy, I'm telling you. But all right, I got my main screen back up here, and I know OBS is running, so we're good. We are good. I owe you 18 minutes. All right, so I'm going to jump back down here to the table because I started explaining a whole bunch of stuff, and I got halfway through it, and that's when I realized you guys weren't even seeing me. Thomas, welcome in, my friend. Thank you for joining. Trust me, you didn't miss a thing. I am not watching the stream. The way that I normally do mine is I have OBS running up on this monitor on my left for when I'm facing the main cam over there. And then what I do is I export that preview into another window and I put it up on this monitor over here. So StreamYard is in the screen behind that. My dumb fault forgot to add myself to the stream in order to show you on screen. So OBS was running, I'm seeing chat, I'm talking to you, but as far as StreamYard was concerned, I wasn't even in the show. And that's what happened. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I got an airbrush yesterday, or I found an airbrush. Let's go that way. Somebody's got to go. Lynn, have to go. Bye. Thank you, Lynn, for being here for the 18 minutes that I wasted your time. Hope you saw. I hope my stupidity makes up for it, brother. I really hope it does. Okay, so one of the things that was missing from the airbrush kit, they gave me two little jars. It is a siphon airbrush. Give me a second here. I'll unscrew it. Oh, I didn't need that after all. I did the same mistake before. You're gonna hear some air. Okay, so this is the airbrush. It is a siphoned airbrush. I should have found a way to close that off because I'm gonna have to turn it back on. It is a siphon airbrush. What was missing was they gave me bottles, but the one bottle was just a spare with a blank cap. The other one didn't have a straw in it. So with the magic of Amazon and Amazon Prime, I was able to pick up a box of 10. And the good thing is this thing came with those little black caps that you could put on the top of the bottles so that you can, I'm putting the airbrush back on the hose now. I got sound. I hope you got sound. You guys tell me I got no sound. I'm in more trouble than I could think. So I was glad that I picked these up, even though I do have like a box of these. They're in storage, but I have no idea where. So this is probably the quickest way for me to get those. But while I was picking those up, it also flashed up something else that I saw that I figured, hey, why not get those? I found a pack of 10 of these little plastic bottles, these eyedropper bottle things. Real nice shirt, Rick. Oh, because it says Ford over here. It says Ford on it. Yeah, there's a truck in the back. Hey, Opa Dodge is here. Opa, you didn't miss anything. Apparently for the first 18 minutes, I wasn't even on screen and I was talking to myself. Just being a jerk, nothing less for Rick. Yeah. So I picked up a pack of 10 of these. They all came with a ball bearing in it. So I figured when I start mixing my own paints or whatnot, this would be great just to have these on hand and store there. And it's cool that they've got the little ball bearing, but what was even better is I've had this thing for at least a year and a half, and I never really used it because I was always mixing paint in really small batches. But now that I have this, I can make really large batches of custom paint colors, and all this thing does is moves around the ball and paints. Now listen, Artie, before you start making comments, no, I am not letting Rita get a hold of this. No, it is not coming off of my bench into my bedroom. It's going to stay right here for this purpose only. All right, that being said, this thing was cool. I think I got this as a Christmas present or maybe a birthday present. How do they get the bearing in there? Well, it's a good thing. This thing screws off and there goes the bearing. Look, you can even take it out. Wow. So that's how they got in there. This thing, I can't remember where I think it came from Amazon, but I can't tell you how much it was. There's the manufacturer on it if you want to check that out. I got a better mixer, only costs $20. Yeah, I don't know I forget how much this was. I don't think it was expensive, but it works. It also came with a whole thing of ball bearings. So that's going to be cool to put in some other jars. I don't need them for these, but it might be helpful to put them in I don't know if I'd put them in the glass jars because these things going around inside a glass jar is probably going to be deadly. But those are just two things that I got. The other thing that I got, I was talking to the Sidetrack Sunday guys, especially after Bob had his show about airbrushes. And I was complaining that I don't use my airbrush enough because I'm always having an issue with it clogging. And I believe it was Brian from the Iron Horse route who asked me, hey, do you strain your paint? And I was like, no, like why would I strain the paint? I'm only using like small batches. And I thought that I was mixing them well enough that I didn't have to strain any of the paint. But, all the guys agreed that, you'd be surprised at how many little particles can clog up an airbrush. So, again, I went out to the, big shop, Amazon, and with Prime, I was able to get these paper strainers. They got this microfiber thingy in here. So I'll probably use this. Here's where it's going to get interesting. I've got nothing that fits that size. I don't know if those bottles are that big. Let me see. Let's take this thing off. I need to, that was actually, that was my first comment in the STS chat. I said, I'm going to have to get my pantyhose out because I do have pantyhose in storage because I remember my father and my godfather when I was younger, they had joined I don't know if they started or they worked for someone, but they were in the painting business. They were general contractors. They were handymen who picked up every job that they could get. So I learned a lot from my godfather, who taught me everything from painting, sheetrocking, plumbing, you name it, all your household stuff. I I was the guy who knew how to run the house by the time it was time to get the house. So yeah, I learned a lot from them. And one of the things I learned was before you start painting on a wall, you need to strain your paint through a pair of pantyhose. And so when I started in the hobby, I had gotten a couple sets of pantyhose, one for straining paint in large batches, but I was also using it on the end of when I was putting down my grass and covering when I was doing the old layout and I was finally doing the ground cover. You put your glue down and then you put on your turf or whatever, your grass and whatnot, and whatever doesn't dry, well, you got to get it off somehow, right? So I just took my shop vac and I put the pantyhose over top of the hose, and you put a rubber band around it. You turn the machine on, it sucks in the pantyhose, and then you use the pantyhose to pick up all of your small parts and all of your grass and all of your tuff. And then when you shut off the shop vac, you just pull out the pantyhose and all your leftovers are in the pantyhose and you can recycle them. That's what I had them for. And no, they were not pre-worn by Rita. Promise you. Even though that probably would have been a great idea. So your pantyhose over your head. You didn't walk into the bank. No, I didn't put pantyhose on my head. And I swear you will not find that on my OnlyFans channel. Just saying. Please donate if you find it. I wouldn't put it past them. All right. So anyway, the test is, does this fit in there? And no, it doesn't. So I would definitely need, if I pour it on the side there or on the side there, it would just come out. So definitely need to get a bigger jar. I bet these would probably work if I did it in here. Yeah, there you go. So my little thingies here, I got grass still in there, some sawdust grass in there. But these little things I think I picked up from Hobby Lobby, that fits in there. And that seems to cover pretty well. So I could mix my paint and I could put it in there. It won't spill out. And then I could take this and either pour it into there or pour it into there. Either way, and that would work. So I can't wait to try these and see how well it does, because if it does, I'm just an idiot, and that's the way it works. So that's that. That's that. I'm going to move this out of the way. I'm just going to leave it plugged in because I'm not fishing that wire out right now. But I'm just going to set that aside. Put this back over there. Get rid of this over there. And put this back onto the airbrush gun. Like that. All right. Now, I'm not sure how we're going to do with audio here because I can't stretch the mic that far, so I'm going to try and do my best. Already, Rick probably wore them. I do not wear them, I swear, but it does suck when you get a run in it right at the last minute and you're showing up for work. That's all I'm saying. Your OnlyFans channel at FBMR.com. I don't think you want to know. Don't think you want to know. Why didn't you just get filters for hobby paint or airbrushes? Because Steve, I do things wrong, and that's why I'm up here, so that you guys can tell me how to do it right, and then we have a whole discussion about it. If I did everything right the first time, every time, then I wouldn't have a channel now, would I? It just makes sense that way. I didn't think that I would need the filters because I was making everything in such a small batch. So to me, the filters didn't matter, but according to the people who are a lot smarter than me, I still need them. So here's what we're going to do, guys. I am going to flip you over to what I call my Droid Cam, which is my phone right there, and I'm hoping it's still connected. And that's going to point you directly at the airbrush thing. It's going to look a little weird. You're going to see the green screen in the background, and you're going to see part of my apartment. But I swear, promise you, nothing out of the ordinary. Just ignore the stuff in the background. All right, let's do that. Hope and pray I even hope, I got to swing my chair around here. So you're getting a sneak preview of what the production studio looks like too. So this shot is running off of my phone, which is on that little thing. And this is the new airbrush station. So all I did was I went down to Ollie's Bargain Basement and I bought this little 4-shelf plastic shelf, I guess. Put that together. That was only $14.99. I had my airbrush booth here. It was just put away in the closet. I can't show you without moving the camera, but the next shelf down right now is empty. That's going to be storage. The top of this is going to be storage. And then the bottom shelf right now just has the air compressor on it. And I'm going to turn that back on because I need it to build up pressure. So I'm not sure if you can hear it. It is fairly quiet, thank goodness. So it is going. I'm just going to give it a minute to fill up there. I think I usually keep mine around 35 PSI, I think. Do you keep air continuously running through the brush? I'm not sure I understand what you mean by that question. I'm only using the airbrush when I squirt it, if that makes sense. What? Ignore the dancing girl. Have your compressor got a storage tank? Yes. So I do have a storage tank on mine. Ignore the adult toys. Oh my God, you guys are terrible. Yeah, it does, I think you guys can hear that. So, and I've got that muted too. So you're only hearing me through the mic. I rearranged my paint area as well because I need the space for the projects I have. Yeah, in the wings. Yeah, so I'm hoping. So right now, this airbrush, this booth is not going to stay up all the time because it's just in the way. So when I'm using it, it's going to be out like this. And when I'm not using it, it folds up into a little pretty square. It does have all of the LED lights. It's got 3 rows, one there, one there, one there. You guys have seen this before, but it's been a while. It does have a fan in the back. I don't know if you can hear that running. It's fairly quiet. Yeah, you guys can't hear that at all because I don't see the little monitor thing going. But it does have the fan in the back, and I don't know that you can see it. There's no angle that would show it to you. Right now, there is a hose that's connected to the back. It's running on the back of the table, and then right over here in the back of that monitor is a window, and it's actually filtered right out that window. I set it up like that just in case I wanted to airbrush tonight. I don't know that I will, but it is set to do that. Finish off the damn bridge and the bridge building first. The bridge is done. The bridge and the building first. Oh, that was for Ray. Yeah, Ray, finish that. I thought he was talking to me. On a double action brush, you should keep air flowing continuously and then press down when you need to paint. I've never heard that before, but I could certainly see how that could help. But if you do that, I don't know how you would set that up because pressing down is how you release the air. How would you? I mean, if you put the airbrush down, you're not pressing the button, right? The compressor isn't that loud, Rick. Easy louder than that. Yeah, you're way louder than that. Well, I'm also right here in the microphone, so it's down there on the floor a good maybe 3 feet away, so I can see that. I did fix a little hook here to keep the airbrush sitting right there. When I do finally get, I don't know what the setup would be. Rick is suffocating the neighbors. Nah, they'll be fine. It's all acrylic paints. Have you met Rick Container Man? He's normally louder than your truck. Yeah, that's what everyone says. Even recently, Jerry said it when we were out at the last meetup that we had. Never mind the dead birds outside the window. Now, hey, if I can get rid of those birds outside the window, then I would have quieter mornings, I can tell you that. Your compressor setting is not critical with double action. Okay. And that's what the Jacob breaks the Airbrush Asylum and a couple others have mentioned the airflow. Yeah, like I said, first time I've ever heard it. But anyway, what I had to do was, this is a Pache airbrush, which I've never used that brand before, but I heard it is very good. It says here, Pache Talon, whatever that means. It is a siphon airbrush, so it does have the jar at the bottom. They apparently have a very unique threaded, what do you call it, coupler? I don't know if coupler is the right word, but they have a threaded nozzle here that does not fit your standard 1/4 inch rope. So the other problem that I had is the cord that comes with it, or the wire, what are we calling it? This thing that comes with, that is not a 1/4 inch. I don't know what that is, but it's smaller than a 1/4 inch. And then it has this connection on the other end, which is a lot larger than what my airbrush has. So I also had to, again, with the, and I apologize that you guys are all seeing my back. I can't turn and talk. I had to get another tube. That's it. I had to get another air hose to run this thing. So I got this blue one here. Nice and pretty, but it almost freaked me out for a minute there, because when they sent the tube, it told me it was a 1/4 inch on each side, and then it showed up with this, and I was like, oh no, that's not going to fit. That's the same size as what's on there now. And then I realized that was just a coupler on the end, and that I could take that off. Man, I was relieved, because I didn't know what I was going to do at that point. What you see in the back of my booth here is the filtering material. Now, you can go and get an 1/8 of an inch to a 1/4 inch hose is what you got. Okay, I didn't know that. Didn't even know that existed. I'm over here clicking on people. I'm glad I'm reading these things out, because I'm clicking on the things on the side, not realizing that it's not built into the screen and it's not coming up top. Sparky's not taking the truck. 1/8 of an inch to a 1/4 of an inch hose is what you got. So I had no idea. But actually, no, it's actually not, because it's not an 1/8 of an inch. It is smaller than an 1/8 of an inch. And just to show you that, here is, I'll take the coupler off. I'll take the jar off before I drop that. And I'll take the hose off. Now the hose is going to make some noise. All right, so that's an 1/8 of an inch, that connection there. It came with this here little coupler that goes from, maybe you're right. It is an 1/8 of an inch to a 1/4 of an inch. Yes, because the hose I got was a 1/4 of an inch. So Pache, I don't know what that is. Is that an 1/8 of an inch? Sorry that it's not auto focusing there. Is that an 1/8 of an inch? And that takes it to a 1/4 of an inch? Because the hose, I believe, is a 1/4 of an inch on each side. Yeah, you might be right. Okay, Steve, I'll give you that one. Thank you, buddy. All right, I'm going to hook this back up and turn it back on. Got to hook it back up and turn it back on. Although I don't know why I'm turning it back on, because I don't know if I'm going to airbrush tonight. I don't have anything to airbrush. I mean, we could brush. Yeah, I got nothing else to show you. I can't believe I caught up to everything in just 20 minutes after talking to you for 20 minutes. I guess that makes sense, the whole time that I was there. But I would have had a 40-minute show if I didn't screw things up. Badger and Master Airbrush. Hold on, I got to go back up here. Ray said something. I had the same issue with my rig. I had to set up, Rick. The hoses are different on the Badger and the Master Airbrush. Yeah, the Master Airbrush is all a 1/4 of an inch. I'm going to go with that. Is there a way for me? Hang on a second. What did I do? I'm going to flip screens for just a second here. Put you up here because I want to see What do I need? I need on screen. Okay, so go back to Droid Cam. I'm going to add something real quick. Add a group. This on screen. There. Perfect. Lock that. And now, if I did that correctly, there. All right. Fix that real quick. So, time for me to bail. Dude, you were only here for 20 minutes. Apparently, so was I. Love the first 15 minutes tonight, Rick. Thanks for the hangout. Yeah, first 15 minutes were a bust. I'll see you later, Sparky. Thank you for hanging in there for the first 15 minutes. I found the adapter for my airbrush hose on Amazon. Yeah, Pache could be metric. Oh, that's possible. Yeah, I did use their adapter, and they actually labeled the adapter as, I guess we can go back here. They actually labeled their adapter as Iwata to Pache. So that's what I used to get it back to 1/4 of an inch. So it's a possibility, yeah, it may be in metric. Gotta let the dog out. Sounds good. You need more cameras and screens. Nah, I think I got enough, man. I can't fit anything else in here. I actually started with less and then realized that I really can't do the show that I'm used to without everything. The phone is not permanent. That's not going to stay there. I can tell you that. I only did that so I could show you this. But now I'm kind of a little disappointed that it's in the shot now. So I got to finagle my camera over here to figure out a way to get rid of that because you can't see my screens, which I put just right there. So now I got to reconfigure everything so that you guys don't see all that stuff. But it is what it is. I'll tell you what, we got 10 minutes left. I hear the kids, Rick, and I didn't gag them. Sorry, I can't help that you heard the kids in the background, but it is what it is. Toy Man came in. Hey, Toy Man, good to see you, brother. Appreciate that. Get yourself a gravity-fed airbrush. I do have them, Toy Man. They're in storage, unfortunately. And I don't know where in storage, and I'm not rummaging through storage. I do have two. Both are master. No, I'm sorry. I have one. I have one that's gravity-fed. I now have two that are siphon-fed. And the one that I just found doesn't. I haven't even used yet, so it's brand new to me. But again, I had to get some parts for it, and they all came in. Yeah, more tasty cakes apparently. Roy, you've got ears. I didn't hear them. I don't think that he heard them either. I think that he's just fooling around. But now I hear toes going behind me. What are you doing? No, I can't, buddy, because I can't get to my phone right now. Close the curtain. Close the curtain. Thank you. Bye. See, Roy, you caused the problem here. I got my headset on. Yeah, I actually had to take my headset out because for some reason I was getting feedback. I hear myself in there, or at least I did. I don't now. Am I still getting sound through here? Let's see. Yeah, okay, now we're better. I don't know why, but I was getting feedback earlier, so I took my headset out. But I got it in there now. Not that it makes a difference. Not like there's anybody up here to hear. Got all my fittings at Home Depot. Had to adapt to my Porter cable. Oh, that's funny you should mention that, Joe, because I've got a... I went to Harbor Freight, and I got their 2-pound compressor, and the thing is so super quiet, and I loved it. I can't wait to have that set up, in the new area wherever I land. But it was really super quiet. But as you know, it's got the big fitting on it where you can put on one of those quick release things. And so I had to find the fitting for that to fit on the 1/8 inch or quarter inch, whatever the standard hose is. But I did have a standard hose hooked up to that. So I had to get the fittings, but I also got those at Harbor Freight. So yeah, mine is the Fortress, the 2-pound Fortress one. Hang on just a second. All right, so that was the first time. It took them 52 minutes for me to yell at them. So very impressive. Well, you talked to yourself for 18 minutes. Yeah, I sure did, Al. I can't believe I did that. That was insane. You guys were all talking to yourselves over there, and I was talking to myself over here. Wait, Rick can't hear his own kids in the next room, but I can? And I'm in Utah. Yeah, I don't know why you can hear them and nobody else can. But I mean, I hear them. I'm just ignoring them. But I didn't think they were making it to the microphone. So maybe I need to turn the gain down on the microphone so that nobody else can hear them. I got all the quick releases on my airbrushes. Yeah, I have them on mine. I even have if I don't break it, I even went and bought I bought a splitter to put on the airbrush that gives me options to put 3 hoses on. And I did have 2 airbrushes running. I had both of them sitting on my workbench. I bought one of those little clamps that you could just clamp right to the side of the desk, and it's got 2 little those ear things that you can put the airbrushes on. But I had both running, and both were able to be used, simultaneously. Of course, you had to fight with air pressure if you were using them both, but one at a time, it was fine. Yep, he's got them too. All right, well, I know that I screwed you guys up in the beginning, and I lost 18 minutes of the show. It happens. I apologize again. It has been one heck of a last 2 days trying to get things figured out. If you guys could, I don't want to go into too much detail right now, but if you can, just keep the Bailey family in your prayers and in your thoughts in the coming future. We're dealing with something right now that could evidently be a little bit life changing. So yeah, if you could, guys, just keep us in your prayers. That would be great. Thank you guys for sticking in for the 18 minutes that I made a mess of things. And yeah, I'm gonna end it here for tonight because I got to get these kids to bed. They've got school in the morning. But yeah, definitely. Thank you guys for tuning in. Flip over here to main cam real quick just to say my goodbyes and appreciate you guys so much. Don't forget, like, subscribe, try and get me over the 1,000 mark before Dave. We'll see if we could do a contest or a giveaway if we can. There you go. No worries, says Hot Dog Andy. I know, crap happens. Did you do anything with the project from Friday? No, I haven't even I haven't touched it yet. It's sitting here. I had planned on touching it, maybe even airbrushing it a little bit, but I screwed up the first 18 minutes of the show, and I don't want to drag you guys out longer, and these guys got to get to bed. So I'm going to go ahead and flow the outro here. Guys, thank you again so much. You're going to find a video right over there on the left-hand side. There's going to be a link to a playlist right there. And then right below me, you're going to find that like and subscribe button. Definitely hit that up and send all your love. Thanks, guys. Have a great night.